We're making a baby rattle this week.
Hello again. Today we're back at the lathe as I continue to work on improving my wood turning skills. I'm going to attempt to make a baby rattle. But first, there's some prep work to tackle. I'm starting with a 2-stage glue up, where the middle oak board has a 25mm hole that I've drilled through to create a rattle chamber. Once the first stage of the glue up is complete, I can add the dried corn seed to the chamber and attach the top. I opted for this 2-stage approach to avoid gluing the corn seeds in place. With the glue up all done, this is looking more like a medieval weapon than a baby rattle, so it's time to get it over to the lathe and start turning. Now lately I've been struggling with my tool sharpening, an essential yet frustrating part of wood turning. Being a noob, I've chipped my cutting edge a few times and needed to do some repair and regrinding, which is where my current setup falls short. I use a Tormek T8 with their 3 diming wheels. It's fantastic for honing sharp tools on, but terrible for any substantial repair or regrinding work. Sharpening is like the dark side of woodworking. Once you move beyond basic saw work, a sharpening setup becomes essential. And if you're like me, diving into all kinds of woodworking, the cost can add up quickly. If you have the patience and skill, you can teach yourself to freehand sharpen on a couple of flat stones. Kudos to you if you can. I'm not one of those people. When I started out, I copied setups from various YouTube videos I was watching at the time, but those often failed to mention that the Tormek system isn't great for regrinding unless you've got hours or even days to spend. The jigs for the Tormek aren't as perfect as they seem. You almost always need the Sharpie method and constant tweaking of the tool rest or the alignment of the tool in the jig, which eats up time I'd rather spend turning. And if I'm having to spend all that time fiddling around with the jigs each time, I might as well have spent that time learning how to freehand sharpen instead. Plus, swapping out those heavy, wet, expensive wheels is a hassle, and they're easy to drop. And I've lost count of the amount of times I've knocked over that water trough, spilling water all over my workshop. For those with plenty of time and patience, the Tormek is fantastic. But I mostly want to touch up my edge quickly and get back to work. So at the start of the year, I invested in an Axminster bench grinder with a CBN wheel, hoping to speed things up a bit. Annoyingly, the bench grinder runs too fast, heating up the tools too much. I tried fitting the CBN wheel to the slower Tormek with some bushings, but that is just too slow, and still just as fiddly with the jigs. So once again I find myself with the prospect of having to spend another pile of money for a new sharpening system. It's incredibly frustrating, but something I need to solve. I know for wood turning there are carbide tools that don't really need sharpening, and I have a set of them. But they're hard to use when you're used to the pristine finish you get from using a bowl gouge and skew. Carbide tools just don't deliver the same quality, and you end up trading sharpening time for more sanding time. So it looks like I'm going to be having to do some more research to try and find a solution that meets all my needs. Anyway, I'm distracting you from all the bad catches and sloppy technique I'm showing while making this baby rattle. Let's see how we're getting on. I did have a rough idea what kind of shape I wanted to go with at the start, but I quickly realised it was far too big for a baby rattle, so I had to start drastically reducing it in size. And I'm aware my bearings on the lathe have somewhat given up and are screaming heavily in the background. I have ordered up some new bearings and it should be in a video coming up soon of me changing them out. But I want to change them out at the same time I'm doing the VFD upgrade to finally add some variable speed to the lathe. So I'm not constantly taking it apart and putting it back together. I wanted to add some finish before I fully parted it off the lathe. But there you have it, a baby rattle, ready for the next little musician out there. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe for more wood turning and woodworking projects, and see you again soon.